Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is time for the Coffee Chat Show. All right, we'll let everyone catch up with the fact that we are live and online and 1 minute late. How is everyone this morning? January is almost over. I don't know about you guys, but January seems like it's been pretty rough. And I will be glad when it's done. I don't know how many other people are feeling that way, but January is always funny. Sometimes you feel like it's really good because you're planning and everything's kind of, you're kind of creating momentum for the year. And then I feel like other times January is just a big sucking sound. Good morning, Angie, Vicky, Farana. Hello, everybody. Good morning, Tracy. Hello. Tracy's with us. I guess we will start the podcast so that we don't forget, which I lately can be famous for doing. Good morning, Dodie. Yeah, Missy's ready for February for sure. Good morning, Mary. Good morning, Priscilla. So quick commercial. Next Saturday in the afternoon, I am doing a live masterclass, virtual prosperity masterclass. I'm actually doing 4 over the course of the next couple months. Morning, Jasmine. Morning, Kirsten. Christy. Hello. So there's one, the 28th, which I believe is next Saturday. It's in the afternoon. Tracy's going to drop the link for all of them. There's an Eventbrite link. Tracy, can you drop the master Eventbrite link? You should have it somewhere. There's an Eventbrite link to the whole collection of prosperity classes. Okay, so Tracy's going to drop the link in there. You can also go to our events section on the Facebook page, and each event has its own, each event is on the Facebook page, on the Working Warrior Mom, under events. Each event is separately there. If you click it, the individual Eventbrite links for each event are in there, and you can get tickets for each event. Limited seating. This is just a special thing that I'm trying. We're going to see how it goes. I probably will do maybe one once a quarter after I finish these 4. So it's a chance to work with me for 2.5, 3 hours in a very small group. We're going to cover all things prosperity, laws of prosperity, how you can put them to work in your life, all of the things that I've been studying for over 40 years. You want to change your relationship with money and your relationship with how you're looking at your life for real. I suggest you join us on next Saturday on the 28th, and then there's other Saturdays in February and March. Okay, so that's the little commercial. We've been covering and working with John Maxwell's The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. I feel like after we cover this morning's law, which is 10, we may, there are 15 laws altogether, so we may split the rest of the laws into the next 2 coffee chats, because I feel like I'd like to be complete with this book and move on to Atomic Habits, which is the next book that we're going to work with in coffee chats. So stay tuned we will drop that in our group. There's a Warrior Mindset group that goes along with this Facebook page. It's a private group, and you do need to request to join, and you need to answer some questions, and you need to agree to the rules of the group. So you are welcome to come and join that group, and in there we get into subject matter a little bit deeper, and we also drop information about what we're doing next. You can also sign up for our newsletter. If you go to thecoffeechatshow.com, on the newsletter tab, you can sign up there. You can also go there and click classes, which will bring you to the January 28th class. So there's lots of other ways to participate with us. This is my give back. These little virtual classes are just something we're throwing out there. Lots of times people ask me if I coach individuals. I don't really have a lot of time to do that anymore. So this was my alternative, to be able to work with a handful of you in a small group for a few sessions at a basically inexpensive price for you folks. Okay, all that being said, the law of the rubber band is law number 10 in John Maxwell's book, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. The law of the rubber band basically is about stretching yourself and not becoming complacent and not settling, right? So Peter Drucker says, and this quote is in this chapter, "The greatest enemy of tomorrow's success is today's success. No one has ever made a significant impact after they won the Nobel Prize." I thought that was pretty telling. That was like, they won the prize, that was their grand achievement, and then they never went on to do anything significant after that. Now, of course, Peter Drucker said that quote many years ago, so this could not be true, from when he said it to the future, so I'm not sure about that part. Anyway, most people have a plan, they stretch themselves, they start working really hard towards something. There's a point where they want to give up. If they don't give up at that point, they then create momentum. What most people do is when they create that momentum for change, or they create that momentum to like double their income or do something different, and it starts to, because here's what happens. You push and push and push and push and push and push. You get here, and that's when you want to give up. And the trick is you don't give up there, and you keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. And now you get momentum, right? Which starts you back this way. And then most people, when the momentum starts coming, when the money starts flowing, when the changes start happening, they take their foot off the gas. And that's why most people end up making like a big change and then nothing else happens, or they get that big goal and then they don't make another big one, or they have a growth plan for some things and they get some results and then they become complacent in those results and they kind of settle for where they got to, and they don't make the next thing. For those of you that want to keep growing for the rest of your life, which I highly recommend, because otherwise you settle, you become complacent, and you do the same thing over and over again, you have to push into the momentum when it comes. I talk to business owners about this all the time, because they're pushing. You get to that point, like I said, where you want to give up, where it seems like you've been doing everything you can and it's not working. And then I tell them, push harder at that point. Press on the gas. And they do that. And then they start to create all the wins and all the results. And then they take their foot off the gas, which you don't want to do. When you start to get momentum, when things start rolling in your direction for the changes that you want to make, you go harder. You push harder. That's what creates that constant flow that you want. You want a constant flow of, I think, well, of course, this is up to you. Personally, I want a constant flow of new things and new changes and new goals and new ways to grow and stretch, right? So what the law of the rubber band is saying is that if you don't stretch yourself, nothing's going to happen. Like an elastic, a rubber band has its highest and best use when it's stretched, right? I'm just trying to see if I can find one here in my desk drawer, but I don't. My cat eats them, so I don't think I have one in here. Anyway, you guys know how a rubber band works, right? If a rubber band is just sitting there on your desk, it's not being used for what it's meant for, its highest and best use. Its highest and best use comes when you're stretching it to put it around something, and it's then holding things together. That's how a rubber band fulfills its usefulness. You stretch it. So John Maxwell is saying your life is the same way. You're going to fulfill your highest potential and the most usefulness, get the most usefulness out of your life when you are stretching yourself beyond what you thought was possible. When you're making yourself just a little bit uncomfortable so that you're pushing for the next thing that you want or the next thing that you want to create. And what most people do is, if they do make a goal or they do make a growth plan and then they achieve where, they wanted to get, and then most people don't keep going with that. They just, okay, I got that. I got the new job. I lost the 10 pounds. They don't make a new plan. They're not constantly assessing and evaluating what's next for me, what's next for me, what's next for me. So I would ask you this question this week. If you grab your notebook, write this down. Where are you settling, or where have you settled? Where in your life have you lost your ability to fulfill what your potential is? Where are you being complacent? Where are you just saying, well, that's enough. I don't need to push any harder than that. I don't need to do anything more than that. That's enough. Where are you doing that? Where did you stop? Where are you stopping? Where are you not pulling that rubber band open to make it stretch wider? Where have you settled? Because I guarantee you there's some place. We all have some place where we settled, or some place where we're accepting, kind of the status quo, or we've accepted the way that it is, even if it's not the way that we want it to be. We've just said, okay, it's too hard to change this, or it's too much work to get beyond this, so that's fine, whatever. That's how you end up waking up 10 years from now going, oh shit, I didn't fulfill, all the things I could have done. I didn't do them. Don't be that person. Don't be the person that wakes up 5-10 years from now and goes, wow, I could have done this, or I could have shifted this, or I could have made that happen. Because the only real time to start any kind of change is right now, right in this moment. There's not going to be a right time. There's not going to be a time when it all lines up and it all looks perfect. You need to just go. You need to make a growth plan like we've been talking about for, 10 weeks now? Instead of just making a couple of goals, you want to have a growth plan. You want to have like a ladder. I want to go there, and then when I go there, I want to get there, and then I want to go there, and then I want to go there. Otherwise, what are you doing? If we're not looking to see how we can go higher and what's next, what are we doing? You're eventually going to change from the point that you are to the point that you want to get to. So you'll make a shift. You'll come from here and you'll get here. And then what are you going to do? You're just going to sit there for the next 60 years? What comes after that? What goes here, 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 here? What happens then? What's the plan? Where have you settled? Where have you lost your momentum? Was it in your plan to lose weight? Your plan to double your income? Your plan to get a new job? Your plan to paint your house? Where have you, let's hear from you guys. Where are you settling? I know there's a bunch of you watching. Let's hear what you have to say. Where did you stop? Where are you settling? Where are you not doing what you really want to do? Where are you not making happen what you really want to see happen? When you want to make a big change, you're going to go like a bat out of hell. You're going to push, right? You're going to get to that place where you want to give up. And that's exactly the place not to give up. And you're going to push in there harder. And that's when you're going to start coming this way. And then when you start to get momentum, push. And that's how you create flow, right? Momentum is when the tide starts to turn. Flow is when it becomes constant abundance, constant circumstances that you want to see more of, constantly more of what you want to create. So, a little trick to change your daily existence is what my mom used to call the glory story. And we've talked about this before. If you grab a journal or a notebook and you write out a paragraph of every morning, you write how you want the day to go, as if it already happened. So whatever you want to see happen in that day, you write it out in a little paragraph in your journal, your notebook. And that's your glory story. And as you start to do that, as you start to talk about the day as if all the things that you wanted to see happen already happened, your energy starts to go there instead of your energy going on what's not working or what looks like is not happening. And you start to put your attention and your energy on where you want to go, what you want to see happen. And at that point, you start to be able to attract more of that. You start to be able to you know, we're always talking about the rules of the law of attraction, right? Wherever your energy is, and I was just talking to one of my staff about this yesterday, wherever your energy is vibing is where you're pulling from, where you're attracting from. So if you want to attract better things, you've got to get your energy up from where it is. And a great way to do that is to use this glory story tool, which is to talk about how you want it to be, to write a paragraph that talks about how you want things to be. Good morning, Lynn Marie. How you want things to be every day, writing out that paragraph as if it's already happened, reading it, and then your energy raises a little bit because you're like, oh, all the things that I want to see happen today are happening. And then you start to attract that. You start to pull in at that level. So that's really the law of the rubber band, folks. The law of the rubber band is you've got to stretch yourself to make new things happen. You've got to stretch yourself to grow. And in order to stretch yourself, there's a little resistance. You lean into that. It's good to be uncomfortable. It means you're growing. It means things are changing. It means you're creating something new happening. So I highly recommend that you work with this question during the week and write it in your notebook. Where are you settling? Where have you lost your momentum? Where have you become complacent? Where is what you want to create for yourself not happening? Where are you not seeing new things happening? Those are the areas that you want to think about where you can stretch yourself, where you can apply the law of the rubber band. If you are in complacency in certain areas of your life, those are the places where you want to think about where you can stretch and grow yourself. Red Betty said she started applying for new jobs. Perfect. And then she said she stopped applying based on other jobs. Okay. And she sees now that she should keep applying to jobs. Yes. You want to create momentum. Creating momentum means when you, like I said, and I feel like I can't say this enough. You have something you want to create, you want to push in, you want to lean into it. You'll come to that place where you think you've either done enough or it's not working, or you want to take your hands off because it's too much trouble. And at that point, you want to push harder, okay? Because you want things to happen. You want to push harder and you want to lean into that and you want to create this coming around the other side. You want to create flow. You want to take your momentum and you want to create flow from that. And that's really it for this morning, folks. We're a little short, shorter than normal because there's really not much else to say. This is a simple law. You want to stretch yourself. You want to grow. You need to stretch yourself, and that's going to be a little bit uncomfortable. And that's really the task at hand. Figure out the areas where you need to stretch yourself and figure out where you're settling. And if you want to revamp the way that you're looking at your income and your money and the way your life is going, I highly recommend you join us for one of the limited 4 masterclasses that I am doing. You can go to the events section in the Facebook page and you can find the links for them there, and you can get tickets on Eventbrite. It's going to be fun. It is going to be a very small group, so you will get a lot of personal attention. And you really will, things will really move for you. This is just a limited thing that I'm trying to try to serve some of you that want some coaching, and I just don't have the time to do individual coaching, so I can do these small group things virtually on Zoom. So we'll be live on Zoom together for a few hours next Saturday, and then a few other dates. You can go to the Facebook events section and check it out. Think about where you have settled. Think about where you have lost momentum. Write that question down in your notebook and really work with that this week and see how you can stretch yourself in the place where you have settled. And try the Glory Story tool. It works. I use it. My clients use it. It's a tool that works. It will change the way you're looking at your day-to-day, which will then change what you're pulling into yourself. So check us out at thecoffeechatshow.com or theworkingwarriormom.com. They both go to the same place. And we will see you soon. I will say goodbye to our podcast folks here. And Facebook fam, we'll see you next week. Take care.